Hey everyone, welcome to your humble home practice. So this is a nice, fairly short practice that can be done in any room of your home as long as you have that space that's about the size of a yoga mat, right? So we'll start in a seat of our choice. So whatever that seat may be, I always say, I think almost in every one of my classes, I want you to find a seat that will be comfortable for you to sit in stillness for a few minutes. So whatever that seat may be, please take that now. Join me on your mats and allow the windows of the eyes to close. Let's take the shoulders up towards the ears for a moment. Scrunch up the muscles of our face even. This is like opposite of what I tell you to do. Scrunch up your fists, make fists, scrunch up your toes. Really, really tense every muscle of your body if you can. And then on an exhale, let it go. Just notice for a moment how that feels. Now place the palms on the knees or on your thighs. Raise the crown of the head up a little taller and allow the shoulders to be a little heavier. Start to ride the waves of your breath. And start to move from doing to being. Noticing your body, the parts of your body that are making contact with the floor. And feel yourselves here as a whole, present, connected, here. Take a couple more breaths to settle into your space, into the earth. And then taking your time to blink your beautiful eyes open. Fantastic. Let's come over to sit on our sit bones if you weren't sitting in that position. And let's extend both legs out to the sides. So in our straddle pose, okay? So keeping flexed feet, unlock the knees. The knees are soft always in yoga, okay? And then take your left hand and slide it down the length of the left leg, just as far as you'd like to go, because now we're gonna take the right arm and bring it over our right ear. Okay, so you can decide to look up to the ceiling or look down towards the right leg or the left leg, excuse me, and left arm. Take a few breaths here. Slowly drop the right hand down towards the ground and then walk your fingertips all the way over to the other side. Okay, so taking the hands over towards the right leg, right hand stays there, and the left arm will come over the left ear, reaching away from the body, either looking down to the right leg and arm or up towards the sky, the ceiling. The shoulders are open, as well as our hearts and our breath. Next breath out, lower the left hand down to the ground, nice and easy. Walk the hands through center and stay here. Okay, so now we're gonna lower the elbows down to the ground. Doesn't mean they have to touch, just means they're gonna drop down to the earth, right? So that now we can perhaps tuck the chin into the chest. Find a round spine. Take a few breaths here, keeping feet active and flexed. Walk the hands back into the body closely to press yourselves back up. So vertebra by vertebra, we start to unravel the spine, right? Maybe take the shoulders back a few times once we're nice and tall. And then take the left foot and bring it in, and then bend the right knee and bring it back. Okay, so now we're in this double bend of the knees, right? And we'll twist over towards the left and take our right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Take our left hand for a twist back behind us. So pressing into the floor back behind us, lift up super tall. And exhale, look over that left shoulder. So keeping the length in the spine. And keeping the breath flowing in and out. On your next exhale, come all the way back through center. We'll switch sides. And how to do that is we'll come onto the left thigh. We'll now reach the right leg out. So now let's bring both legs out in front of us. Okay, other side. So bend the right foot into the left thigh. Then bend back that left leg to your butt. Okay. Nice. Okay, so super tall to begin, right? You want to keep that nice elevated spine to begin before we twist. Left hand to the outside of the right leg, right hand behind us, pressing into the mat or the ground. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, twist, look to the right shoulder. Breathing here. On your next exhale, let's come back through center. Come on to the right hip to bring both legs out in front. Give them a shake, right? Come over onto hands and knees. So from our hands and knees, we usually do cat-cow with our knees directly under our hips, right? But this time I want you to bring a wider cat-cow. So the knees come almost towards the mat width apart. Okay, toes are tucked under. Our wrists are still under shoulders. See how these cat-cow feel with a little bit of a more of a stance between the hips or the legs, right? So inhale, lift the heart up through the shoulders. This hasn't changed. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round the spine. Keep going with the rhythm of your own breath. Wherever you are, complete that next full exhale, squeezing everything out. Okay, and actually, interestingly enough, we're going to come to a tabletop back and stay here for a wider legged downward dog. So kind of really challenging our brains here because our brains are thinking something different, right? So a little bit of surprises. We'll go with the flow, correct? So let's take our wrists in front of the shoulders a little bit more here. Keep the knees where they are, tuck the toes under, lift up the knees, and then shift back towards the hips. If you need to widen the stance now a bit more with the feet, bring them to the width of your mat and shift back. Okay. If you want to bend one knee than the other a bit here, you can, or just find stillness and see how this feels. Find a couple breaths. Look forward to the front of the mat and take as many steps as you need to get forward, but we will take our heels underneath our hips again. So now hip distance apart with the legs. dangling here, back and forth. Inhale, half by lifting. Exhale, forward folding. And then take a big step back with the left foot to warrior two. So the front heel is going to be in line with the middle of the back foot. We'll windmill our arms up and out, palms facing down, long arms. Right, so beautiful warrior two wings. Reach forward with the right fingertips and then take the right forearm down to the front thigh. So just chill out here for a sec, okay? And then take the left arm over your ear and reach away from the outer edge of the back foot. Right, front knee still over ankle. Almost like we're gonna play the guitar, or like strum the guitar with the left hand. Bring the left arm down towards the earth and draw circles. So now bring the left arm up over the ear, forward and down, like we wanna, like I said, strum that guitar. Arm overhead, inhale, exhale, strum that guitar, bring the arm down. Couple more times, rotating the shoulder. One more time, inhale, nice and easy. Bring the arm down, bring the arm back up towards the sky, and then start to rise back up to warrior two. Okay, straighten the front leg, reach forward with the right fingertips again to triangle pose. So take the right hand to the inside of the right leg, left arm up. If you'd like, the left arm might go behind your low back. You might look down, you might look up. Okay, the goal always to have stacked shoulders rather than reaching as far as you can to the ground. I'd rather you have open, beautiful stacked shoulders. Okay, but let's now bend into the front knee and bring the right fingertips down, bring the left fingertips down, frame the front foot, pivot onto the ball of the back foot and step back to downward facing dog. Regular downward facing dog. So feet are hip distance. Right? Pause here. Take a few breaths. Look forward to the front of the mat. Step or jump to the front. However you want to get there. Pause here. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fall forward. And then take a huge step back with the right foot to warrior two. Bring your arms up, palms facing down, right? And pause here. Yeah, nice long pause. And then reach forward with the left fingertips, that left forearm down to the thigh, keeping the front knee over ankle and the right arm over your ear, reaching away from the body. And we're gonna have some fun strumming the guitar on the other side. So on the exhale, bring the right arm down to the floor. Inhale, right arm up and over the ear and keep going. Wherever you are, let's do one more together. Up over the ear, inhale. Exhale, arm down. Up over the ear, pause here. Inhale, rise up the torso. Exhale, warrior two wings. Okay, you might know where we're going now. No surprises. Triangle pose. Straighten the front leg. Hips go back. Reach forward. And then take the left hand down. Right arm up or right arm behind the low back. Peeling open both shoulders. Finding a nice position for the head. The best for your neck. Okay, start to bend into the front knee, fingertips on the ground. Let's bring both hands down now. Pivot onto the ball of the back foot. So a bit of a runner's lunge. Step back, downward dog. And pausing here. Take your feet to the width of the mat like we did before, right? That wider legged downward dog, okay? And then with the toes spread wide, start to bend the knees like we want to jump forward. We won't though, but bend the knees shifting back
like you want to pounce, and then straighten the legs again. Then bend the knees again, shifting back even more. Then straighten the legs. One more time, bend the knees. Straighten the legs. Yes. Bring your feet a little further together in traditional downward dog, so feet are hip distance. Looking forward to the front of the mat, shifting forward to plank pose for a sec, and then exhale, lower the knees. Come down to the belly completely. Okay, and untuck the toes. So a couple of options here. Either Sphinx pose with elbows underneath our shoulders, pancake the hands down. If your low back feels okay here, you might go a little bit deeper into what's called seal pose. So the hands come out maybe away from the mat. And then you just play here. So the hands might come in even closer to the body. The closer they come into the body, the more of the back bend, right? Or come back down to Sphinx, right? Fingertips going away from the body. Finding stillness here for a sec. Long neck. Either in Sphinx or Seal. On your exhale, simply tuck the chin to your chest. Making sure the shoulders are not up to the ears, right? They're down. Couple of breaths here. And then on your exhale, lift the head up. Lower the elbows down if you're in Seal. Let's all take one hand on top of the other and rest our heads down. And then bend both knees and windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Hopefully that feels pretty darn good. Come back through center, lower the legs. Tuck your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and lift up just to hands and knees for a moment. Back to child's pose. So maybe the knees are out to the width of the mat. Big toes might be touching, shift back. Take some breaths here. Start to lift up to hands and knees, okay? Bring your knees in. And then walk your hands back in towards you. Our toes are tucked under, yeah? And we're actually coming into a bit of a yogi squat with long arms. It's kind of like a hybrid of child's pose and a squat, okay? So what I'd like you to do is bring your feet to the width of the mat, kind of like we did a few times, but into more of a squat, okay? So feet out to the width of the mat. And I want you to be on the balls of your feet. So the heels are up, they're risen, right? The knees are out to the sides, feet are to the width of the mat. And then we start to bring our arms forward. This is all we're gonna do here. Okay, like I said, okay to lift up the heels. I want you to. Knees splay out to the sides, tuck the chin into the chest, and lengthen the arms out in front. Drop the elbows down just a bit, the shoulders down. And find this little bit of a yogi squat, child's pose, hybrid. And just breathing into the hips. Walk your hands back in towards your bodies. Okay, lower the knees down one then the other. Find your hands and knees, a couple of cat-cows just to rinse that out, traditional ones. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, inhale, heart up. And go here a few times, exhale, tuck the chin. Come to a neutral spine, find your sit bones, okay? Make your way to the front of your mat for just a wee bit of boat before lying down, okay? So feet are hip distance. Let's actually do our boat, all of us, if we can, with the wrists underneath shoulders. I don't know what I was gonna say. Fingertips forward.
And as we lean back, playing here, just making sure the shoulders are back, right? Heart is lifted, lift up the toes. Seeing if we can find parallel shins to the ground. Okay, belly button is up like a string is pulling it without collapsing. And then simply dip the left toes down and then rise the left toes up. Opposite side, right toes down, right toes up. And keep going. Nice and easy. Not trying to charge through this super fast. Okay, be as mindful as you can of the movements of the feet. Keep bringing those shins to neutral of parallel to the ground. Okay, let's do 5, 4, 3, so close, 2, 1, and then lower the feet down. Okay, hands on the outsides of the knees. Slowly tuck the chin in and roll all the way back down onto your mat. Find a release and a relief, perhaps. Bring your arms overhead. Point your toes and stretch your fingertips away from your toes. And then exhale, release here. Hug your knees in towards your hearts, rock side to side. Keep your knees into your chest. Bring your arms out, palms facing down, or cactus your arms. And take your knees to the left as your hips go to the right. Maybe your left hand is on your knees for your twist. Maybe your head is looking to the right. Bring your head through center. Bring your left hand back on the floor like a wing or cactus, and then knees through center, shift hips to the left as the knees go to the right. Right hand on the knees, maybe look to the left. Really see if you can melt your shoulders down. Back through center with the head and come back through center with the legs. Realign your hips, squeeze your knees in, give yourself one more rock side to side. And then to complete your practice, you may decide to stop the video and come into your Shavasana, right? So I'm actually going to end our practice here on our backs. But like I said, if you want to find your Shavasana for hopefully at least 5 minutes of stillness, eyes closed, and just breathing into your body, you can by all means do that. Or with me taking your left hand over your heart, your right hand on top of your left. Find a few long, deep breaths under your hands into your heart center. And then bringing kindness into your hearts so we can hopefully spread kindness out to our surroundings off of the mat. Really needed these days. Thank you so much for joining me. Big namaste.